Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session. I hope you're having a good afternoon. So some housekeeping rules to start with. First of all, we'd love to hear from you during this session, so we encourage you to send any questions you may have to our panel for a live response using the Ask Staff question box that's on the right-hand side of your screen. We'll attempt to respond to as many questions as time allows, mostly during the panel session in the second half of this webinar. Also, today's webinar will be available on demand after this live session on the Enlit World website. So, welcome to everyone. This webinar is about the e-energy cluster, which comprises 5 research and development projects that are funded by the European Union's Horizon Europe framework. The main aim of this project is to enhance the uptake of digital services in the energy market. These digital services focus on citizens as the main target audience. So it's really about supporting citizens in their journey along the energy transition and in their effort to become active consumers in the energy system. So during the next hour or so, we're going to listen to representatives of these projects, and we're going to hear their perspectives of the 5 different consortia regarding the missions of the project, their roadmaps, their opinions on what the services should look like in order to accomplish their goals, how they plan to engage people, to test these services, and what kind of impact they aim to have in the longer-term future. So it's my pleasure to, first of all, introduce the panelists. So we have Stratis Kanarachos, who is a senior consultant at European Dynamics, and he represents the project DECODIT. Annika Wolff is an associate professor in user-centered software engineering from LUT University, and she represents the project CELINE. Kostas Arvanitis is the project communication director and general manager representing the project ENERGENIUS. Tsironi is the project coordinator of the project DIGITISE, and Ms. Valeria Palladino is a researcher at ENEA representing the project EU Dream. So for the first half of this webinar, I will invite the panelists to give a short introduction, a short presentation of their projects. And then during the second half, we will have a panel discussion, hopefully answering all of your questions. So with this, I would like to hand over the word to Stratis in order for him to introduce the project DECODIT.
Thank you, Antonis. Hello, everyone. So DECODIT is a project that is about concrete, personalized, and comparable propositions for future-proofing homes. Next slide, please. The starting point for a project is a problem, is a challenge the average citizen, me, you, our family members are facing every day. So we are in the middle of an energy transition with regards to our homes and our buildings. And this is a significant challenge for most of us because there are a lot of options available and we don't know how to navigate around them. And this is becoming overwhelming. We don't know if option A or solution B are better for us. So next slide, please. DECODIT is overcoming this problem by developing digital tools to support the citizens. We are particularly addressing the problem of data silos in specific building sectors domains. So the first one is the building energy management, basically speaking about how much energy we consume and how this energy or how we produce energy and how this energy is more or less utilized. It's about building renovation and the different options. Should we put insulation or should we replace our windows? And the last one is building financing. Most of us are facing budget issues and we don't know how to spend the money that is available for such purposes. Last but not least, we are developing a Gen AI assistant that understands natural language and gives recommendations in natural language so that the average citizen understands the options that are available. Next slide, please. Next slide. So what we are actually doing is we are connecting the missing pieces of a puzzle. So we are developing customized services, and these customized services are mainly based on building data and sensor data that are available in the building, for example, smart meter data. And furthermore, in addition to this, we are using co-creation in order to ensure the user-friendliness of these services. And what we realize and what is being proven through this project is that this fusion of data from these different domains of the building leads to better services that address specifically the needs of individuals and that are cost optimized for the citizen as well as for the building professional. And next slide, please. This validation is done in 4 pilots in Greece, Latvia, Spain, and Switzerland that have totally different or significantly different socioeconomic realities. And we are very glad that we participate in this very promising e-energy cluster because we will be able to learn from other projects and leverage our results. Antonis.
Thank you, Stratis. So we move directly on to the next presentation by Kostas representing ENERGENIUS project.
Hello, everyone. I'm Konstantinos Arvanitis, Kostas Arvanitis. I'm the director of ENERGENIUS project communication dissemination and the general manager of innovation. Next slide, please, Antonis. The ENERGENIUS project is a Horizon Europe project that is the duration of the project is 42 months, and the main challenge it's answering is, as all the other projects on this cluster, to simply convince and let's say educate each citizen to be a part of the energy transition. Our shared vision is simple but powerful. We tell smart energy solutions for a better tomorrow. The project coordinator is Voltiva Energy, formerly known as My Energia. Next slide, please. ENERGENIUS brings together 17 partners from 10 diverse European countries, and the project solutions are demonstrated in all of these countries. Next slide, please. Here you can see the slide with the existing project partners covering utilities, living labs, research organizations, and industrial players. Next slide. So what is ENERGENIUS about? ENERGENIUS, it is gathering data from 9 totally different and diverse sensors, from energy, for environmental condition and human comfort, from water utilization, from health and nutrition, from urban flow and mobility, from finance, from real estate market, tourism and accommodation, and the social media. As you can all understand, ENERGENIUS is tackling the domains that they are totally, let's say, connected to the energy. And we don't just try to gather data from these domains, but we are trying to return impact on each separate domain. Next slide, please. The project, as I told, slide 1, it is to empower, the project objectives are to empower citizens to scale and replicate our solutions, to promote the cross-sectoral collaboration, to encourage everyday sustainable practices, and to create market impact. Next slide. Our concept is easy and is based in 3 main pillars. Our digital suite of tools called the ENERGENIUS Suite, our knowledge and training base named the ENERGENIUS Community, and a vibrant marketplace that covered all the awards, rewards, and special discounts for and other privilege for every project, ENERGENIUS project user. Next slide, please. I will tell some words about our tools. Our tools are basically how we are going to convince every citizen to be a part of the energy transition. We are using a very nice game, then play, the ENERGENIUS game that simulates our everyday behavior by playing, simulates how we spend energy in our houses before doing things. We can see how things about energy efficiency can happen if we change some, let's say, some of our daily routines. The setting here, it is on the common European home, but the great innovation it is that we are using the scan to digital twin mechanism that we have. The user using his own mobile phone can scan his own household in 5 minutes and can play the game environment into his own household landscape. Of course, preserving the privacy, security, and all ethics. Again, we have our LLM, our AI digital assistant on actions helping the users both to save energy and to make energy investment decision. We have our analytics platform called the Panorama, where we gather insights for every one of the 9 sectors. Our insight, it is actionable insights. We are giving the users one smartwatch, we call it EcoPulse, that it is engaging both health measurements and energy tips and actions, when to save energy and when to spend energy. Next slide, please. So in order to everyone to be a part of ENERGENIUS, I highly encourage all our audience, including the panelists, to join us in the LinkedIn from all the remote audience. You can scan or you can visit our LinkedIn page, where soon you will find demos of our digital tools. And this is our community building, where everyone will give us collaborative feedback to improve our services. So I can wait 10 seconds for you to scan or to visit, to follow our LinkedIn, because here it is the central, let's say, hub on joining for free all of our tools. Let's go, Antonis, to the next one. I think 10 seconds was enough. So some practical examples about smart living and efficient cooking. In ENERGENIUS, we try to, let's say, tackle with the health sector. So we try to tell everyone how to cook very, very tasty and delicious recipes. At the same time, we try to write down the kilowatt hours are going to be used for cooking a Greek or a Spanish very nice and delicious dish. According to that, we have some very, very easy for all the audience here tips. I'm not going to read them. Next slide, please. It's very practical tips for our everyday lives. And last but not least, I told you that we are tackling the real estate. So some questions that ENERGENIUS is exploiting. If we ask all of us, if I install a photovoltaic panel, a set of photovoltaic panels in my household, how much real estate value is my household gaining? This is measurable, first of all. Secondly, if I improve my energy certificate of my household or my residence from D to B, how much is the time to market reduced? Are the banks more willing to finance properties with a higher energy efficiency classes? I give some appetizers about the business modeling here, and my company does for sure. Do companies pay higher rents for renting green offices? This is it, my side. Next slide, please. It is the thank you slide, as far as I remember. Whatever questions the audience have, I will be here and ready to answer. Very happy. Thank you very much. I think Eleni is the next one.
Hello, everyone. Yes, my name is Eleni Tsironi, and I'm the project coordinator of DIGITISE project, and I'm representing here also DigiTech. I'm an electrical computer engineer by background, and my work focuses on managing the EU project. So today I will give you a brief introduction of DIGITISE, a Horizon project that goes through digital technologies and collaboration, aiming to make energy information not only accessible, but truly empowering for everyone. Next slide, please. So DIGITISE is a project that started at June 2024. It's coordinated by DigiTech, and it brings together 12 partners from 8 countries and a total budget for almost 4 million euros. The mission of the project is to empower consumers and prosumers to participate actively in the energy market by helping them not only to understand the energy data, but also to act on it. So we have 3 main core drivers on the project, which is to promote the digital literacy and citizens empowerment, integrate advanced technologies such as AI, digital twins, big data, and we validate all of this in our 4 demo sites in Greece, Spain, Croatia, and Ireland. So in short, in DIGITISE, DIGITISE is about turning digital innovation into citizens' empowerment. Next slide, please. So why DIGITISE? The energy systems are becoming more digital. So, but the information available to the citizens are still fragmented, and it's hard for them to understand. So many people feel disconnected from the energy market. They might hear about smart grids, like flexibility, data sharing, but they don't really have the tools and the knowledge to engage meaningfully. So this is the gap that DIGITISE try to address. So within the project, we try to make energy data accessible, understandable, and engaging in order for people to be more empowered, for them to save energy, reduce their costs, and also so that means to actively contribute to a more sustainable and fair energy future. So essentially what DIGITISE brings is the technology closer to the people, so that the citizens not just be the observers, but also be the real participants in that energy transition. Next slide, please. So in order to do that, DIGITISE brings together a suite of digital tools that they're all integrated under a unified platform. So at the foundation, we do have the DIGITISE data space, which connect all the tools in order to secure, to ensure a secure, interoperable, and privacy-respecting data set. But on top of that, we build a range of smart applications from digital twins and AI-based analytics that will help households and communities visualize and optimize their energy use, to smart homes automation and flexibility management tools that will enable citizens to participate in their local energy markets, and applications that focus more on energy saving, behavioral insights that would turn the complex data into the simple, meaningful action. So altogether, those tools form what we think a comprehensive ecosystem that transforms the energy data into empowerment, helping all users move from awareness of the digital transformation to action. Next slide, please. A key part of DIGITISE, it is how to involve the citizens directly in the process. So through the energy dialogues and local co-creation workshops in Greece, Spain, Croatia, and Ireland, we bring together citizens, prosumers, and stakeholders to discuss the challenges, share experience, and co-create digital solutions that the citizens will actually use. So in order to do that, the engagement approach is a bottom-up and inclusive, ensuring diversity and equal representation of all stakeholders. So what we do is that we also, one thing that we do is that we also focus on the capacity building, helping people to strengthen the digital and energy literacy while adapting to the needs of each local community. So by connecting all the stakeholders, the citizens, the businesses, the policymakers, we try to create a space for dialogue and collaboration to ensure that technology truly will serve the society needs. Next slide, please. So by the end of the project, DIGITISE will deliver and validate real-life tested solution for digital engagement across Europe. It will help hopefully increase the digital literacy and awareness among the consumer, but while promoting transparent, citizen-driven energy markets based on data trust. So most importantly, it will create strong communities of stakeholders, researchers, innovators, and citizens, all contributing to a fair, inclusive, and digital energy future. So it's about putting citizens at the center of the energy transition. Next slide, please. You can all follow our journey and stay updated with our activities and results on our website and on social media. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So thank you very much for your attention. And I will pass now the floor to Annika that will present CELINE. Thank you.
Yes, I'm going to present the CELINE project. CELINE stands for Cross-Sectorial Integrated Digital Services, enabling energy localized innovation and community empowerment. So we have quite a focus on the kind of social innovation aspects and also the community engagement. Next slide, please. So I thought to tell a bit about myself and my background. So I don't necessarily come from such a technical background. My background is in cognitive science, so I'm interested in algorithms and machine learning, but I'm also interested in how people engage with that. So a lot of my research is about how people make sense of complex data, but also how we can support people to co-design for requirement solicitation for digital technologies, even when they don't necessarily have the initial skills in order to understand how the digital technologies work. Next slide, please. So CELINE is very early on in its journey. We're still in our first year. So to some extent, the solutions that we're going to be creating are not yet defined. And part of this is because we want to go through this kind of co-creation approach. So we, like the other projects, we aim to support communities to use digital tools, but we want to make sure those tools are the tools that they actually need. And as other projects do, we also focus on cross-sector data integration, so using not just energy data, but also about mobility, tourism, and so on. We're developing digital twins and an infrastructure from which we can then develop these services, but we will do this in a co-designed way so that the design technologies will actually be a good fit to the people. And alongside this, we're creating some training materials which we'll use to train different stakeholders in upskilling where they need to upskill in order that everybody can work together to try to define the technologies and use the technologies and be part of an energy community. So we have 3 main pilots. in Spain, we have an existing energy community, and they aim to optimize their solar and battery use and heat wave response. In Italy, we have an alpine energy community that already exists, and there we will try to use the technology to support renewable energy use and also sustainable tourism, which is very important for an alpine ski resort. In Lappeenranta, we have a virtual power plant. It's a slightly different case because whilst there is an energy community, in a sense, the residents in the buildings don't really get to interact very much with the virtual power plant. It's all very automated and not part of their everyday lives. So we're aiming to use the CELINE technology to kind of build that community, and we're doing that across 9 residential buildings. Next slide, please. So our approach, I'm going to talk a little less on the technical side and a bit more about our co-creation approach. So we're using a living lab approach in which we do testing or creation and design of technology and testing in a real world environment. And in order to do this, we're going to be establishing energy living labs, specialized energy living labs in each of the communities that we're working in. And we call them cells because it's designed to be a replicable approach. And that's important because we want the approach and the methodology that we design to be transferable to new contexts. So we first test it in the context of the 3 demo sites, and then we can provide it to other energy communities in order that they can use it to develop their own technologies. The energy living labs will engage diverse stakeholders, so we'll not just have technologists, but we'll have energy companies, municipalities, residents, building managers, and so on. So very many people working together. So far, we've had vision workshops to kind of identify the initial solutions and to define some action plans. And in the next stage, we're going to be working very much more closely with, that was amongst mostly the consortium and some energy partners, and not so much residents or citizens that don't know so much about energy. And in the next stage, we're trying to define within our co-creation methodology for our living labs, some bespoke tools that can guide discussions and structure the sessions so that everybody is kind of talking about the same things and on the same page to make sure that the processes move in the right directions. Next slide, please. Next slide, maybe. Is there a problem with the next slide, or? Okay, now it's there. So actually this was my last slide anyway. I just wanted to show a little bit about the work that we do in trying to define the ways in which these workshops that are part of co-creation can be carried out. So often we work with canvases, large canvases that people can use. So on the right, we can see more of a technical workshop, which is amongst consortium partners. This was our vision workshop that took place in Vienna a week or 2 back. But on the left, we have something which is more citizen oriented. So this is from another project that's ongoing at the moment called Tips for PED, and it's about positive energy districts. But we might consider to do something similar within CELINE. And the idea here is that we use a kind of gamified approach, but it also leads to co-creation activities. And we also make use of activities like appathons, which can get people excited and engaged in designing new technologies. But also the canvas here on the left is a game that's designed to very quickly upskill people in basic concepts that they need in order to be able to engage in co-creation activities. And next slide, please. And that was my last slide. So I'll say thank you very much, and you can ask questions about the project if you want, but I will pass now to Valeria.
Thank you, Annika. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Valeria Palladino, a research scientist at ENEA, the Italian National Agency for New Technologies, Energy and Sustainable Economic Development. I work in the Smart Grid and Energy Network Laboratory. Since July 2024, I've been co-leading the Bridge Strategies of Engagement subgroup, and since from last May, I have been co-chair of the Bridge Working Group Consumer and Citizen Engagement. Today, I'm honored to be part of this webinar as a representative of the EU Dream project and show how our digital tools can make the energy transition more inclusive, ensuring that no one is left behind. Next slide, please. Okay, EU Dream develops next generation digital energy services that empower citizens and communities. Our goal is simple: make energy information understandable, actionable, and accessible for everyone, not just expert or tech-savvy users. The project, led by University of Porto and involves 16 partners. There are 16 living labs, and it will be finished in December 2027. Next slide, please. Okay, so digital tools like AI assistant, digital twins, and natural languages interface are not just innovation, they are bridges. They translate complex data into insight that any citizen can use. In EU Dream, we are testing these technologies across 6 countries in living labs, where real people interact with our tools, giving us feedback to ensure inclusivity, such as for people with low digital literacy and vulnerable groups. Our objectives go beyond technologies. We want to promote energy literacy, engagement, and transparency to build trust. Digitalization must empower people, not exclude them. Next slide, please. Thank you. So this is the technical heart of EU Dream. We are adding intelligence and interaction to the traditional energy systems. In detail, the AI assistant predicts and suggests smart energy actions. The natural languages processing intermediators allow users to simply ask questions, such as how can I save energy today? And the digital twins provide a real-time visualization of energy flow, making the invisible visible. Together, they make complex energy systems human-friendly. Next slide, please. Okay, so what are the EU Dream key action? The first one is simplify access to energy information. This is the key for inclusivity. Complex energy data is a barrier. We simplify it through clear visual and natural language. This helps citizens, especially those with limited technical or digital skills, to understand and engage with their energy consumption. The second point is the engagement comes from experience. Personalized dashboards, gamification, and feedback loops motivate users to participate. Our living labs ensure these experiences are co-created with the citizen and not imposed on them. The third point is building trust and inclusion. This is where social sciences come in. Technology alone doesn't build trust, people do. So the project studies behavioral partners and social barriers to make sure our digital solutions are inclusive, ethical, and adaptive to diverse communities. And ultimately, the digitalization should turn consumers into active energy participants. When users understand their energy data, they make smarter choices and contribute to sustainable goals. So EU Dream show how a digital tool can strengthen energy citizenship. Next slide, please. Okay, so that's all from my side. Thank you, and please feel free to reach out to my email address and visit the EU Dream project website and social media. And now I hand over to moderator Antonis. Thank you.
So I'd like to thank all the presenters for presenting us their projects in very briefly. I understand, so not much time to go into detail, but at least we have a snapshot of what each project is aiming for. So for the second part of this webinar, we wanted to have a panel discussion. I would like to encourage the audience to send any questions they may have, and we could now include them in the discussion. to answer any of these questions or concerns. In order to, well, apologies, I just heard something. So we have structured the panel discussion along a few discussion topics. So I would like to start the discussion with a quite general topic, if you like. So why do you think that these digital energy services that we're talking about, why haven't they taken off yet in the European Union? Why don't we see them all around us? What are the barriers that you encountered during your work on the projects? So this could be, I understand there could be a variety of different barriers, from socioeconomic, regulatory, infrastructure, behavioral. There are several different barrier types. So I'd like to hear your opinion on what you are encountering in your projects. So maybe Eleni, would you like to go first on this one? We cannot hear you, Eleni.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Sorry on that. Yes, so I was saying is a good question, crucial. And to be honest, there's no single reason why digital energy services for citizens haven't taken off yet within Europe. There's a mix of barriers like social, behavioral, regulatory. So if one can highlight like some of them is it would take the behavioral side. Many citizens feel that that energy systems are a bit too technical on them. They don't always see the immediate benefit of engaging with digital tools. It's something that sometimes all those apps are more for the tech savvy, not for just the citizen with not like a level of understanding of the digital systems could do. So one thing is the behavioral side. On the other side, on the social economic level, we can say that there are inequalities in access to digital technologies and in energy literacy. So not everyone feels confident managing their energy through apps and platforms. From the regulatory and infrastructure perspective, data fragmentation and interoperability issues make it difficult to provide seamless and consumer-centered services. So, and above all this, to be honest, there is also the question of trust. People want to know what their data will be used transparently and securely, and that the digitalization that we are talking about will actually bring value to them. So I think that's pretty much what projects like DIGITISE and within the energy cluster try to come in and bridge all those gaps by making energy information more simple and human-centric, and of course trustworthy, in order for to empower citizens to participate meaningfully in the energy transition.
Eleni, please, Kostas, go ahead.
Yes, I will take from Eleni the last sentence, and I want to tell that, let's say, many times people are not convinced how this data are we going to be used, why to use this application, why to use. So the bottom-down approach, I will tell you a very nice story for our everyday lives. We, in Greece at least, and I'm sure in other countries, we are using the delivery application. So people having this data, you know, in order for me today to have my coffee or to have my dinner later on, I will order from there. So they know what time I drink, what time I need, where is my office, where I stay. They know everything, but still I use it. So there, to this practical and simple example, there is no problem of ethical data. When it comes in energy and health, of course, the problems are rising. So we are here as projects to convince everyone that energy is much more simple and with less ethical data to share on someone than other things that we do in our everyday lives, and that I don't want to take the time here. The second one is the regulation and the governmental. First, European Union, and then the governments, they need to speed up. Okay, I will tell again one practical example about Greece. Next week, I'm going to install in my parents' house, let's say, a small photovoltaic. I still don't know if I will be, how I will manage the new system of net billing. The contractor is there, he is going to install, I'm going to put an investment there for my household. And I don't know if I'm going to sell this energy or if the DSO is going to accept me. So I rushed in order to do it, and I am behind because of the regulation. The supplier is ready, but the regulation is not ready. So we need to force our side as European projects. We go the bottom down, we convince every citizen, but we need to make the correct policy making and push European governments to make this happen. The easy, the small things, not the complicated one. All the others will come. This is my side.
Any other panelists who wants to contribute to this? Well, maybe to smoothen the transition to our next discussion topic, we have a question from the audience. So there's somebody listening who's asking, in the EU Dream project, Valeria, you mentioned focusing on vulnerable users. So what strategies are you employing to achieve that?
Yes, in EU Dream, we have a specific living lab on inclusivity. During the next month, we will develop a co-creation session with the vulnerable groups to design a shared user interface for social house company, maintenance provider, and tenants. The goal of the user interface is to optimize the maintenance process and facilitate efficiency interaction based on experience. Another co-creation is for empower inhabitants so that they have the confidence to make their own decision with regard to energy efficiency behavior and build trust in energy data and digital tools. So in the next months, we will have the first results.
Thank you, Eleni. So I think we can all agree that inclusivity is very important in the energy transition. So what do the other panelists have in mind? What are the other projects doing about this to make sure that we don't leave somebody behind? Please, Annika.
Yeah. Well, we have also a focus on inclusivity, and I was talking a bit before about our Energy Living Lab methodologies and co-creation activities, and in there we're also focusing on how we can make those participatory processes more equitable and inclusive. And that doesn't just mean from the point of view of engaging minorities, but it also means from the point of view of ensuring that every voice will get heard when people are in a room working together. But there are strategies that you can use in the inclusivity side of things where it may not be equitable always to invite people just because they're from a marginalised group. They may have difficulties to participate, but what other ways can you use to get their voice into the room and their thoughts heard, even when they're not there? So it's about reaching out to the organisations that work with vulnerable groups and trying to understand from their perspective what's the best way to incorporate them into these activities, and then to make accommodations to people to make sure that when they come or participate in project activities, first of all, they understand how it's beneficial to them and that it doesn't make them uncomfortable, and that they're accommodated in any way that they need.
Thanks, Annika. Any others want to share on the inclusivity aspect? Otherwise, we have a couple of questions on user engagement. And this is a topic that obviously is very, very important to our projects. So there are a couple of questions, we could discuss them together. So one of them is that one member of the audience is asking how gamification can help with user engagement and whether such techniques are implemented in the project. And the other member of the audience mentions that, I mean, he saw in the CELINE project the mention on co-creation activities, but what are the other projects doing in terms of co-creation? I know that most of the projects do have such activities. Would you like to elaborate a bit further on this? Yeah, please, Costa. Well, in any order.
I prefer first Stratis that never speak, and then I can let's say add value to Stratis.
Thank you, Costa. Well, we do a lot of the state of the art that was described by or in the previous projects, but something I would like to highlight and we consider as important and relates a little bit to the example that Kostas gave before, is that the solutions we are developing are basically adapted to the context and the particular energy behaviors of those that are participating, of the citizens. So, for example, it is very well known that a technology, in order to succeed, should not be just technologically acceptable, but it should be also user-friendly or being very easy to use by the end user. And what we are trying to do basically is we don't want to change any of the usual behaviors of a person. For example, if they are working, they have a specific routine. We are not going to propose something that breaks this routine. Or if they have children and they need to go and have a bath during the night, let's say, we will not recommend them to do something in the middle of the day or in the morning. So we consider the context in the solutions we are proposing and how people behave currently as an important aspect, so that we don't require a huge behavioral change. And I think this is something that we are just exploring and understanding its value, and we are very happy to share these results with the other projects, and I believe they are also doing something similar. Thank you.
Yes. Again, after Stratis, I will tell about the gamification, the gamified way. So what we do with the gamification, we try to involve every single citizen in ENERGENIUS at least, to take care. It is a game. I was playing the Sims game before years, where you move into your own environment, you change a little bit, you make your breakfast, you put the washing machine and all of this. So we try to simulate and to convince everyone how much money is he earning because he's saving energy. Okay, so we give there without changing something in the real life, without installation of a photovoltaic, without installation of a smart meter. We move the mindset onto the energy saving attitudes. This way, we try to give the financial credibility, because it is a driver. Always financial credibility comes first, and energy saving is the result and the impact of the financial credibility. Secondly, in order to make it more, let's say, engaging, we try to not have the common landscape of a household, but to the user to can play in the game in his own premises. Believe me that I'm convinced about this, but everyone who is going to try is going to turn the mindset to a more energy efficient behavior. So always learning by playing is the better way to change your behavior and move the demand, technically it's called demand side management, to a more efficient way. Thank you very much for this question.
Any other projects dealing with gamification? Just to respond to the question from the audience. Yeah, please, Eleni.
Yes. Also, within DIGITISE, truth is that we don't use gamification in the traditional sense. There are no points or rewards, but we follow the same logic, to be honest. So, trying to making the tools engaging, intuitive, and be meaningful to the citizens. So that goes hand in hand with the other question about the co-creation. In order to do that and to respond to the needs and the digital literacy of citizens, that we try to do within the energy dialogues, all those workshops that we try to have like a kind of a design thinking approach with the citizens and all the stakeholders. So we try to listen, take the feedback, test all the solutions that the citizens propose in order to integrate and refine them within our tools in order to have like real use from the citizens. That's my point on that.
All of you. So if nobody wants to contribute something further, we have another question from the audience that deals more with the infrastructure side of things. And I assume this means physical infrastructure. So the question is, how do you handle the difference in infrastructure between the different countries? Do you have a unified architecture, technical solution, or I guess to what extent do you need to customize it to the different infrastructures in the different countries? Please, Kostas.
Yes, very interesting question, and I totally understand it. I will come in what I told initially. We need, let's say, to push the governments. There is no common infrastructure. In our piloting activities, we are using the data that we can, the data sets that we can find for different infrastructures. We try to put these infrastructures into fair and models about energy like SAREF, like models that are existing in the theory and in some countries, but not all over Europe. And we try to build our own small infrastructure in order to make the correct policy making, to install our own smart meters, to gain the data either in JSON CSV format, and then according the prototypes and the guidelines to send them to the main machines of the project, either edge computing, either to spread the information where it's needed. But the common infrastructure needs to be pushed from European Union for the governments, everyone to talk the same language and to use the same terminology. And here we are, all the project, to convince from the policy making to the market. Because indeed, all the projects, I think we have more or less the same data flows, but with different setups.
Yes, I totally agree with Kostas, because energy and data regulation were widely across EU member states. And this fragmentation creates uncertainty for companies and citizens, hindering cross-border scalability of digital services. If we think also for the role of prosumer, energy consumer, energy community, and aggregators are still not fully defined and harmonized in many national legislation, so limiting a citizen ability to activity participation in the energy market. So I think it's important that we have a unified infrastructure, but it's a very, very strong challenge.
Yeah, else respond to that? That's fine. Yes. Please, Stratis.
It might be a bit more technical, or it depends how you look at it. And Eleni mentioned this also before. It's the data space, and this is maybe a data sharing software infrastructure, so not a hardware infrastructure. But I think this is also important to maybe highlight that there is an effort at the European level, and I believe all of us are moving in this direction towards a common European energy data space, towards being able to share data more or less in a standardized way, using harmonized more or less vocabulary and metadata. So in our project, as I believe in other projects, we are developing this technology, so we are making it more mature in order for this and more user-friendly, in order for this to become an enabler of the different building regulations and legislation that has been currently voted and requires or gives the opportunity to citizens to own the data and to share the data according to their own will. So I think this is an important step that we are all currently exploring. It's a technology that is developing, and we are there at the forefront learning the pros and cons of this software infrastructure.
Stratis, for that intervention. So in light of time, I think this is we can wrap up the discussion here, and I would welcome you all to give me some final words, some final thoughts for the audience. How would you sum up what we just discussed for about an hour? So let's take it in the order of presentations. Stratis, would you like to go first?
Yes. So first of all, we see a lot of potential and value in database services. Currently, citizens don't know, for example, how much they pay and why they pay so much for their electricity and what kind of solutions they can get. And so this is one aspect. And number two, we are also learning in all projects and our projects how we can engage citizens, how can we design services that fit citizens' needs. This is a new landscape. The electricity sector was conservative, had steady prices, and now we are in a totally new field. So we have to join our forces, and we have to contribute also to standards in order and harmonize all the data and services that are being developed.
Thank you. Kostas.
Yes, thank you everyone for this very nice, let's say, webinar. I will take again Stratis last saying, here we joined our forces and we are still joining our forces in the energy cluster. We will be happy to answer and to see you everyone in person during the Enlit participation of our cluster in Bilbao and to discuss further on in person with you. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Eleni, last thoughts?
Yes. Well, the key message from me is that all that we're discussing about the digital innovation is that it should make our life easier, not to be more complicated, because sometimes we stick more on the technical side and we don't see what society needs. So this is pretty much what we should have in mind, and I think that is what we try to bridge the gap with all those projects in our cluster today. So thank you very much for the discussion and all the great insights that were shared today.
Annika, your thoughts?
Yeah, and I thought it's really nice that these projects get to collaborate and learn from each other in these kinds of events. And it's really important because the citizen side of things, as has been said, has been maybe neglected in favour of technology in the past. And we have so much that we can learn from each other to make sure that that doesn't happen in the future.
Thank you. Valeria.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for this webinar. To conclude, I think the digital transition must be a just transition. We can only achieve our energy goals if everyone, regardless of age, income, or digital access, can take part. So this is my opinion.
So on behalf of the energy cluster and Enlit, I would like to thank our speakers today for sharing these valuable insights with us. I'd like to remind the audience that the recording of today's webinar will be available on demand on the Enlit World website. And as Kostas mentioned a few minutes ago, if you're planning to visit Enlit Euro in Bilbao later this month, from the 18th to the 20th of November, you can connect with the cluster on stand 5.F30S04. We will also be hosting a session on the 18th of November in the EU Project Zone Hub. So please see the link in your chat box for more information. The link will be shared. So thank you very much. I haven't introduced myself. I just realized. So my name is Antonis Papanikolaou, representing Q Technologies. And with that, I would like to wish everyone a very good afternoon. I hope this was fruitful and enjoyable, and we look forward to seeing you at Enlit Europe in Bilbao. So thank you very much, and
Thank
goodbye.
you very much. Bye bye. Have a nice
Thank you.
evening.
Bye.
Bye.